So in today's video, we're going to be planting some potatoes. Things are moving right along on here on the farm. We need to get those guys in. We still have a lot more to plant besides what I have shown. And if you like these types of videos, would you do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe? Come grow with us. Even though it's windy out here today, it's time to go ahead and plant potatoes. It just is that time. We'll bring out a soil thermometer here in a minute and we'll take a look just to verify, but everything else is coming up. You know, your daffodils and wild onions and all the above. We have onions coming. Now this area between here and the high tunnel, that's going to be our early sweet corn. Got that. We have that to plant. I've been fighting a lot of different broadleaf weeds in this area, so it's just time to go ahead and do a crop rotation. I can use some herbicides on my sweet corn that will kill some broadleaves and try to reduce the amount of weed pressure I have. But okay, let's go ahead and continue tilling here. We don't have a lot of potatoes. They got about 100 pounds, so, but I do need to get them in. We're gonna, we kind of lost our red potatoes last year, so I want to make sure I know where they're at. We're gonna put them in the first row here when we get ready to plant. Right now, I gotta get it tilled. Pretty easy to plant potatoes, just a lot of hard work. I was gonna say back-breaking work, but that too. Well, these little tires are so small, I didn't realize I have a flat tire on here. I didn't know why I wasn't getting any traction. And so I'll run up here and see if I can't get some air put in that tire. But yeah, the rim is spinning. So, because we had some rain coming, instead of me just tilling up the whole field, and in the end I have a tilled field with nothing planted, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go row by row. I'm planting a product called Norland Dark Red first grade potatoes. I haven't had a chance to look at these. With these potato bags or dog food bags, feed bags, you just need to find the magic string, pull it, and you can get it. So let's get a look at so this is our Norland Red potato. Boy, that looks like a nice one, doesn't it? That looks really nice. When I was younger, I actually used to cut out each individual eye, and you can get a lot of potatoes out of it. But anymore, I cut the potato into quarters, and what I'm going to do is make sure they're like, that's an eye. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, this is an eye, that's an eye, that's an eye. And of course the machine harvesting, when they harvested it healed. So I have a lot of eyes right here, so I don't want to disturb all of those. So let me just go ahead and cut this area out. But look at all that, there's one, and let's divide this one into thirds. So keeping that eye separate, I have two eyes right there. And now I'm just going to split this one right down the middle. And there we go. So we have one eye, that's about it. About one eye on that one. This one has two eyes. So not many on that one. The mother lode was right there. But that's how I'm gonna go ahead and quarter them. Before I plant, I'm just gonna go ahead and quarter out a bunch. I need to go ahead and get ahead here so I can plant this row, and then I'll move on. I see Delia's coming up, so she'll be here joining us here shortly. She's a quilter, so she was quilting and doing that. Now this is a small potato. Just split these in half. That's all you can do with the small ones. Hey there. Another small one, so I'm just splitting it in half. But we'll get That's okay. Like this is a medium potato, so I'll do thirds with it.
Okay.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit at a time. We'll go together here in just a second. What do you think of them potatoes? Take a look at them. Yeah, they look pretty good. We're not. The nice thing is these eyes are small still.
Stay red.
To plant potatoes, it's not hard to do, but what we want to do is plant them about a foot apart. That's what I like to do. The question a lot of folks have, do I plant with the eyes up or do I plant with the eyes down? You want to plant with the eyes up. There's old Maddie here, and she's a potato eater, so I got to watch, make sure she doesn't do this. So basically, set that down, and we're gonna cover it very well. But I have about a size 12 shoe, so basically every step I take, I can put another one, and I poke it in the ground, and we'll do that for a second, and then we'll come back and do the hoeing. Now that I have the potato sets out in my row, all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to reach across and I want to cover up one side and hill it. And then I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. This will cover that potato, and it's always good. At least when you're done, come back and tamp that area in. As you grow through the season, if you start seeing where the erosion has pulled out some of the soil, or by chance that your potatoes have grown that much, if it's doing that, go in here, till this row a little bit, and add a little more soil. Otherwise, you're going to end up with green potatoes. So we don't want that. We want to go and hill up our potatoes, cover them with as much soil as we can. The process, Delia and I are not going to come back and re-hill these potatoes. Hilling potatoes will give you a lot more potatoes, but I think you get bigger potatoes by not hilling them. Wouldn't you agree, Delia? Yeah, so she's over here finishing up that side of it, and she's going to come on back and hill the other. But you don't want to, if you want to have bigger potatoes like we do, go ahead and just do this one hilling, provide your fertilizer, provide lots of water, and we'll stay with it as the season progresses. But we can grow some pretty good potatoes using this method. And you notice I'm not planting them deep. I'm actually kind of planting them on top of the ground, because what will happen is your potatoes are going to grow above the ground. It's going to grow above it. So that's why we got to have that hilled up. And if I don't think it's enough, I can always run the tiller down it one more time and get some more. And you notice how Delia's tamping it, firming up the bed. This way, when the rains do hit, it's not going to erode. So we're going to keep going here, because there is chances of some rain occurring. So we want to try to get ahead of that. Delia and I was wondering, we didn't order anything FedEx, but we did. We got our onion plants in here. Remove immediately. So we'll get them in here and open the box and get them out. So very good. Yeah, look at them. There's our onions. That one is Texas.
Oh, that's Texas one.
Texas Sweet. It's the first year we're going to grow that one. All right, 1015 Texas Sweet. They look like a good size too. white dog there, he figured out the perfect place to lay down right in between the row of potatoes. And Delia's tamping in the terraces that we're putting in between the rows to kind of prevent, you know, mass flooding and whatever. And I'm getting ready to go cut up potatoes for our next row. I don't know if it makes any difference. I know that probably not. I know the big potato guys, they cut their potatoes, I'm certain, the day before. But anyway, it's I don't have to do that. I can cut them right here in front of it. I guess you could say it's a waste of time. Could have it done, could have it already done, but I think it pays. Here's a bet. Yeah, that there's kind of a bad spot. I don't know if you guys can see. That's kind of a bad seed, bad potato. I just don't think the rest of this is worthy. Let me cut a little bit. Yeah, I think that one's no. I'm not gonna bet my future on that one. We'll save that. Out of 50 pounds, that's the first whole potato I had to throw away. If I find an example of one, but I do think it's, if you got one going rotten on you, there's no reason to put that in the ground. Yeah. No reason to put it in the ground. Save yourself some money in the long run by having some. Now this particular these are starting to actually grow, so we're getting them at the right time. And that's, give an example, that's what I cut. It has a lot on that end. You don't, for some reason with these red potatoes, you always got a lot. And I try to at least have two eyes per chunk. Like this is a big piece. This is a big piece, but right here I just have an eye there. I have an eye there. And then there's two, there's three. I'll go, this one's gonna have one with one and then two with the other. It's not a perfect way to cut them. I mean, I don't think, I know that the guys who use machines, they get what they get and they do all right. There we go. That smaller one was worth thirds. I want to show you something instead of me just working. One thing that I did last year, and I'm going to talk about it again here, that's your soil thermometer. Let me set it down and try to angle it at it so you can see better. So it takes 45 degrees for potatoes to germinate, and that's exactly, you know, we're at 51 degrees. Now this morning I was around 43, 42 this morning, so we're definitely averaging our 45 degrees. I can't emphasize that enough. I know we're ahead of St. Patty's Day, we're ahead of Good Friday, and there's a lot of folklore, old farmer's almanac and that type of thing, and they talk about, you know, you want to plant by this day. Well, I'm going to tell you what, that might work for Texas, that might work for Juneau, Alaska, as far as I know, but I can say that for your own area, when is your last frost date? What is the type of plant you're planting? And what is the soil temperature? Now, a potato's a little bit forgiveness. It can handle a little bit of cool weather and frost, light frost and stuff like that. So I pray that we're going to be okay there. That being said, the temp you just saw it is 50 degrees, and it's just time. It happens to be an earlier spring than normal, but we do have to worry about frost, that type of thing. I don't want to put a tomato outside, even though the tomatoes right now in 73 degree weather would thrive. 45 to 50 degree nights, they would make it. They would be very happy out here until Monday, when we're going to get down to 25 degrees. So we just have to be smart with our when our planting time is. Once you get into May, middle of May and that type of thing, normally everybody's in great shape, but by then you're kind of behind then you're the same as everybody else. Then everybody plants the middle of May to 1st of June. So if you're a market gardener or trying to rely any source of income, then you're asking for lower prices because everybody's got tomatoes in August. Does that make sense? I hope it does for you. We're in a competitive business where our good friends but they are competitors as well, and it's our job to do our very best to try to have produce a week before they do, or at least right at the same time. You don't want to sit there and be looking across down there and see Delia doing all the cells and everything because you don't have potatoes yet, or you don't have tomatoes, whatever the case is. Watermelon, you got to play it safe, play it smart. I'm not putting out anything outside right now that I'm really worried about freezing conditions. That's a fact. So my potatoes and my onions, they can handle some frost and what have you, but I certainly don't want to come out here with peppers and watermelon and zucchini. So be smart about it. Even though my temperature gauge here says it's 50 degrees, that's fine for potatoes, and it's fine for everything else for the most part, but we don't want to go in there. We don't want that. Now sweet corn is 55 degrees, so technically it would just have to have another week of warm weather like we're having, and in theory I could get sweet corn to germinate, but we don't want that to frost. That's just going to cost us money because we are going to get some nice frost, 25, 22 degrees before the winter's out. So, all right. We're just about done with the red New Orleans. Definitely, you know, every 12 inches or so, probably that's about 13 to 14. And we hill from one side, then I'm going to till where Delia's at right there, and we'll add to the other side. She's wondering, why am I not helping her cover? Are you wondering that?
No, I'm wondering how you can say that's 12 to 14.
There's size 12. She's doubting my. She's doubting my.
I say it's close to 18.
Closer to 18. I think she's wrong. 12 to 14. So anyway, she's wrong on that one. I wish I had a tape measure here. She's gonna have to go up and get one just to verify. But I definitely, from one end of your foot to the other, we got it. Do you got one in your hand?
No, I'm gonna use my phone. Empty phone.
Oh, all right. Yeah, there you go. Let's tell everybody. No, you're not. Yep. There you go. 2 phones.
And a half an inch.
I think it's variable. That part's a little variable. 2 phones and a quarter. Do I hear 3/8? Yeah. All right, I better get back at it here. See, we try not to walk on the side that we have all fluffy. And this area, we need to bring some more in, but what I'm going to do is, as soon as we get this side done, I'm going to till back up this way, and I'll continue tilling, but Delia's going to be the one finishing up this side here, and we'll have it all the way done. But 6 rows right now, right?
Yep.
6 rows. These are about 140-foot rows, more or less, so a 50-pound bag. Do the math. I have just enough to maybe do half of a row, ballpark, not the whole thing. I don't know, maybe a whole row. But we have, you can just basically say 50 pounds does 6.5 140-foot rows. That's more or less how we're going to call this. So to give you an idea of what a pound of potato is, let's go ahead and till up the way.